What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. What an exciting time over at Marvel Studios this week. Not only a ton of news coming out about the Deadpool franchise, but now Spider-Man as well. In particular, Peter Parker, Tom Holland finally crossing over into the Sony Venomverse. Coming from two trusted industry insiders, we have a brand new report that talks have finally begun, confirming that they will cross over, and some more details exactly about how this might work, who's going to get to reference what, and if we'll ever see Venom in the MCU. I'm going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're just days away from giving away our first limited edition Infinity Saga box set, as well as still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So yesterday, as reported by MCU Cosmic, that's Jeremy Conrad, and re-reported from Daniel Rickman's Patreon, that Sony has finally entered talks with Tom Holland to get him to cross over into Venom 2. Now, if you're wondering exactly what does entered talks means, you've got to understand there were obviously some preliminary agreements back when Disney's Marvel Studios and Sony agreed to let Tom Holland's Peter Parker stay in the MCU, and based on those agreements, it's almost a surefire thing that he's going to cross over. That was one of their main gripes. Not only that, what's more, they wanted to get their characters into the MCU. Now, recently, Deadspin had reported that all of the Marvel Universe characters and franchises, all the events that happened, were going to be on the table for Sony's Venomverse to be able to reference in their movies, making them an adjacent universe. But that didn't make good on that leak coming from Tyrese Gibson, who is confirmed to be playing an FBI agent in Sony's Morbius, that they would actually enter the MCU. That's quite a different thing. So what's most likely happening in these preliminary talks is them working out how Tom Holland's Peter Parker would show up in San Francisco from a narrative point of view from the first place, but going forward, how not only the narrative will stay cohesive enough to include the MCU characters, but also keep up to the quality that we're used to from the MCU. I also think that it's a stretch to assume that any of the Sony Venomverse characters will ever show up inside the MCU movies. Rather, it sounds like Kevin Feige is doing specifically what they had done with all of the TV properties in the past that they've now consolidated under Marvel Studios, allowing them to be adjacent, meaning they can include everything from the MCU, but not be actual canon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, meaning that the Marvel Cinematic Universe never references their characters or their happenings. You'll never hear anybody in the movies talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or what happened on that show, but they did have Agent Coulson from the first Avengers movie. Now, that was a one-way ticket for Clark Gregg's character. He never showed back up in the MCU, but obviously the whole point of having a sharing arrangement is so that you can keep Tom Holland's Peter Parker for the foreseeable future in the MCU. It still doesn't mean that any of the characters he encounters in the Sony Venomverse, like Morbius or Venom, will ever show up in the MCU, except that doesn't mean that other characters from the MCU can't cross over into Sony's Venomverse. Of course, Kevin Feige hinting at this when he said that Peter Parker was the only superhero with the power to jump across cinematic universes, but what about non-superheroes like J.K. Simmons' John Jonah Jameson, who we now know is in the MCU because we saw him in the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, but if the rumors are true, has already reportedly filmed his cameo for Venom 2. That may open the door for some other characters, or even someday Avengers, to show up in some of those Sony movies, making a Maximum Carnage crossover possible, especially in the context of having some real connective tissue without ever having to include them in any of the MCU movies. I just don't think that's a Pandora's box that Kevin Feige is willing to open back up after having reassembled almost all of the property rights with the acquisition of Fox and now consolidating all of Marvel's television under Marvel Studios as well, allowing Sony to even have a chance at messing up their continuity or having to worry about their quality control, especially considering their track record, is something that I don't think Kevin Feige's going to want to deal with at this point. He's definitely earned his way out of that. That's why leaving an adjacent universe on the table, but not making any of their stories or franchises canon, is probably the safest bet. And watch, there will be a lot of comments and arguments about this over the coming years, what's canon and what's not. I still see confusion between the TV shows that were adjacent to the MCU but not canon. It's okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of this. We'll work through it, but specifically, do you think this is a good idea, leaving it adjacent and not making it canon? Also, how do you feel about the Marvel characters showing up over in Sony's Venomverse? Sony does not have a great track record, and although I definitely believe they've gotten a lot better, and Into the Spider-Verse gives us a lot of hope that they've hired some better writers and they can make better movies, it's still a scary proposition to allow anybody in to messing up the kind of quality control that we've had at Marvel Studios for so long. Let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 550,000 subscriber mark. In the next coming days, we're going to be giving away our first limited edition Infinity Saga box set. These were limited to 4,000 in pre-production and were sold out as soon as they went on pre-sale. People got them and jacked up the price to ridiculous amounts on eBay. We've got our hands on 2 here at the channel to give away. If you want to be entered to win either of the box sets or the PlayStations, any of the future prizes we give away, all the same rules apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos that you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners are announced in video at the end of videos, and if you missed the 2 winners for the 500,000 PlayStation 4 Pro giveaway, all you gotta do is scroll back through the channel, you'll see it in the title, scroll to the end of the video, it'll be right there. Like I said, we're only days away from giving away the first box set. That'll be New Year's Eve on Monday. Regardless of the subscriber count, we're just giving it away on that day. You still got a chance to enter, and the same rules will apply for all of the future prizes. Again, all you have to do, hit the sub button, notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on the video. If you guys are still traveling throughout the end of the year, wherever you are, be safe, have a great new year, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping build one of the fastest fan communities here on YouTube for Marvel, or really any platform. It is an absolute honor and privilege to get to share the happenings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with you guys, and I am sincerely looking forward to the coming years and decade and the events to come. Thank you so much. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.